Alright folks, how's it going? So, it's the next day, and got parts for the 171, so just picked them up today from the dealer. So we'll get that put back together, test the oiler out, make sure that works, and we're going to fire up the 026 and see if that works too. How's everybody doing? I just got home from work. It's been a hectic day. I work in a recycling, like scrap recycling yard, and man, for a billion different health reasons, it is bad. Like, it's dusty, it's horrible, it's like overall conditions just not the greatest. So this was the part. So if you recall from the last video for the ms171, this is the worm gear. This was damaged from actually running with the chain brake on for too long, and what happens, and in this case the clutch was spinning, heated up the clutch drum, the we call it the clutch springs stretched, like they were really sloppy actually in the clutch, but that heat has to go somewhere, and in this case actually it damaged the like the case melted the plastic around the brake band, everything, and in turn also melted the plastic off the worm gear. So there's the damaged one. There's the brand new one, OEM still. You can see here, like where they call it a spring, where it sits and plastic's over top, like it's nice and tight. This one melted the whole top right off, and also transferred lower into here to the point like it doesn't stay. So we're gonna put this one on and give her a test run here shortly. So this is what we got. I'll check the camera, see how this light is. Just gonna zoom you in a little bit closer. There we go. Not the greatest, but it's a heck of a lot better than what it was. Oh, wrong can. Boom. Oh, let's see if it shows. Hopefully that shows up. But you can see the bluing in the clutch from the overheating. Really, really don't suggest ever idling your chainsaw with the clutch brake on for any more than you have to, because this is a byproduct of what happens. Anyways, you take that, slide it on. Let me show that again. The oil pump's right there. Oil pump moves. It's not binding, nothing else. Your worm gear just slides on there. Give it a little turn just to make sure it seats. Yep, on all the way, perfect. So now in this case, you have this, I don't even know what they call it, real big ass metal washer. Acts as a protector in there. That goes in. Clutch is pretty clean still. This thing is barely ran since gave back to the guy. And actually, funny thing is, those are not OEM springs, clutch springs. They're highway springs, and they seem to be a lot stiffer. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Still got my rope in the cylinder from the other day. So all we're gonna do here is rotate till it catches. There. I can't remember what I did with my socket from the other day now. There we go. Clutches, most clutches work opposite direction. lefty would be loosey, righty be tighty, but in this case it's like propane. The left is actually not loosey, it's tighty in this case. I'm just going to snug it down. When I go outside, I will actually burp it, hit the chain brake, take it off, give it more RPM, hit the chain brake again, and that'll help tighten your crankshaft onto that clutch, or the clutch onto the crankshaft, depends on how you want to look at it. So, clutch bearing. Now there's a slot, hopefully that shows up on camera, there's a slot in the clutch, or in the clutch drum. That little tab hooks into, on the worm gear, that funny looking little spring hooks into there like that. Oh no, not like that, like that. Something like that, roughly, to give you an idea. And then that's what drives your oil pump. So, bearings on, get that bad boy lined up. There we go. I usually spin it till it seats, because if you don't catch that groove, it'll actually sit on top of the actual clutch spring here. I'm just going to zoom you guys out. The next part's easy, it's just a washer and a C-clip. Oh. So, like I said, how's everybody doing? Up here in Canada, it's Thanksgiving this upcoming weekend. I don't know when I'm going to be putting this video out, so quite possibly it'll be after Thanksgiving. Yeah, so that's what I was saying the other day with the 026 when I'm trying to get it ready for the weekend. A friend of mine has a bunch of trees there, and two pliers help get that on. I've done with a flathead screwdriver, but this is definitely much easier. And you gotta watch out, sometimes these C-clips mysteriously have pilot's licenses and take off. Yeah, so like I said, it's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. So I was supposed to go riding, but I had to cancel out on that. I won't get out again yet this year, but just not right now. So like I said, told a friend there, he's getting a well drilled actually, and one drilled, one capped, and there's a bunch of old trees there that are giving some problems, dead, leaning, all sorts of things. So if it's not too windy out, or if the wind's not in my advantage, then we'll probably have to reschedule, but we'll see what happens. All weather permitted. And it's been hot. This whole week's been hot. I don't know why. Our whole summer's actually been hot as well. It's been a really strange year. Just insanely hot, dry, drought conditions. You know, farmers and such are just, they're not doing very good this year. I got a lot of really shitty crops I've seen. I will say, not a huge fan of this new style engine cover type of fastener they got going here, but it's alright. I still prefer the old screw-on types. So in the minced here, there's a tab here and a tab here. You just got to make sure those line up when you put her in. So give me a minute, we'll get this put back together, barred up, and check if it's oiling. And in the process, I gotta put my filter back on, but we'll do a quick test run on that and see what happens. Check back in a minute.
This is last round, I know recently, but chokes on. Cute little saw. Full bar oil. Front spring you tell a little stiffer because the engagement takes a little more RPM to get it. Well, look, camera difficulties. That happens. That's what I do for tightening up the clutch. Give it a little RPM, hit the brake. No, it's good. Can you feel the oil? See. Actually, I feel so loose.